Pleased to be joined by Belmont University men's cross country head coach Jeff Langdon. And Jeff, in general, talk about what your hopes, goals, and objectives are in creating a schedule each and every year for the cross country team.
Yeah, the early season meets are more of just trying to find out what our guys have been doing over the summer. Hopefully they've been putting in the mileage, which they report to me every week, and it seems like the guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But, our first meet is the Belmont home opener, and it's only a 5K, so it's and in the heat, that's a good thing just to run a shorter distance, kind of gauge where the guys are. I would compare our home opener more to kind of like the last preseason game of the NFL. Just kind of get our feet wet, see where we're at, and make adjustments from there. And then after that, we go to the Vanderbilt meet, which is basically a home meet on our home course. And that's where we'll try to really step it up and see where we're at, because that'll be an 8K distance. So that makes sense for us to stay locally as much as we can. After that, we'll go to a couple of pretty big meets. We're going to go to the Louisville Invitational, the Louisville Cross Country Classic. They're actually hosting NCAA Nationals this year. They have two different meets. This is not the pre-national meet, but it is going to be rather large and very, very competitive. So we'll get to mix it up with some of the top teams in the nation, and hopefully guys can develop some confidence on a fast course and run some good times. Then 2 weeks later, right now we're planning on going to the Blue Ridge Open in Boone, North Carolina. Just a little getaway. It's over fall break. Should be a pretty good course. Big race, but not the competition level of the Louisville meet. And I think this meet will really get us geared up for the OVC meet 2 weeks after that. In terms of the OVC, really don't know what to expect, other than Eastern Kentucky is they've been ruling the roost for quite a while. They're potentially a top 10 team in the nation. So for me to think that we have an opportunity to knock them off, I'm not at that point yet. But hopefully it's going to raise the bar for our program, and it's going to help our recruiting, and hopefully in the next year or two we're going to make a really good run at them.
Jeff, obviously in the spring season, Marcus Bridger Wilkinson had an outstanding year in the 1,500 meters. Can you talk about maybe the hopes that he could carry some of that performance level into the fall season in cross country?
I think he will. To what extent is yet to be determined. He came in here to Belmont as predominantly a track athlete. His primary event was the 800 meters, but he'd never trained more than 35, 40 miles a week. And so we've upped his mileage. He agreed that the best move for him track-wise was to move up in distance to the 1500. He really has some aspirations eventually to move up to the 5K. And so with that mentality, I think he's starting to embrace the cross-country aspect of the running a little bit more. He's embracing that, and we're expecting good things from him. How much, we don't know, but he's certainly come a long way as he's increased his mileage and gotten stronger, and he's definitely excited about cross country.
And then lastly, obviously with Marcus and Matt Miller being back, certainly some capable runners at the front. Can you talk a little bit about the construct of your team this year?
Well, we have not made full decisions yet, but we're leaning toward doing some redshirting this year to make the big move next year. We have a great incoming freshman class. We've got some great kids coming in, and it usually takes high schoolers a year to make the transition from 5K high school distance to 8K and 10K. So my initial thinking is that we're going to maybe redshirt some of our top guys, a couple of them maybe, and let our freshmen and younger guys develop to where they're ready to really go after it next season. So, we're hopeful that to have a great year this year, and we're going to do the best we can, but we're really setting our sights on the future for the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, thanks for your time, and have a great fall season.
Thanks, Greg.